Now's the time. I know I say this a lot, and I have, especially for the monetary situation we are in, and all this money printing or currency creation or digit creation, whatever. But it feels like, to me, and everything I've read and I'm seeing going on, that there's not going to be another time. There's not going to be an elongated period of time. And right now, it feels like we're at the very end of, and maybe the next year, maybe the next month, maybe the next 6 months, whatever. We're at the very end of your options and your opportunity. And what is that? That is to be able to purchase stuff, purchase things, purchase items without government control, without government knowing what you're spending, knowing what you're spending it on, knowing where you're at when you're spending it, knowing how much you're spending, that kind of stuff. And why is that a bad thing if they know that? Well, that's a bad thing if they know that, because then they can control that. They control where you're spending on, who you're exchanging with, that kind of stuff, how much you're spending, and how often you're spending, that kind of stuff. It can be controlled. Would they want to control it? Absolutely. I would say, why would they not want to control it? But anyways, I'm just saying this because I feel like now you can still get gold and silver, and you can get them not as easily, not as accessible as it was a few years ago, but it's still accessible. It's not as cheap, nearly as cheap as it was a few years ago. It's close to almost double than it was, a number of years ago, but you still can get it. And as they're inflating the currency, the money supply out there, that's going to cause everything to cost that much more, because you got to use the fiat currency, the Federal Reserve note, and that's what they're inflating. So if you get an asset or assets, that stops that thievery, that theft, because as they're creating all this stuff, these extra digits, that kind of stuff, and it's called counterfeiting in my opinion. If I was doing it, if you were doing it, we'd be in prison for counterfeiting, but they're doing it. It's just a noble thing. Anyways, so if you are in a situation, any situation, stop buying your daily coffee, stop buying your weekly whatever, stop buying this or that you don't need. It might be fun, you might enjoy it, but it's gone, in a day, minutes, hours, stuff. Hold that and start using it to preserve your wealth, to preserve your purchasing power. You can do what you want to do, but this is just my suggestion. And this is what I've done and others around me have. You want to, put that in assets that are going to preserve your wealth. If you can make money creating assets, currency creating assets, if you're that wealthy, you can get into rental properties or get into other rental stuff like that, great. That's absolutely. That's what I'd be doing. Or start a business. Absolutely. That's going to have some sort of return on investment, or a good number of return on investment. Yeah, absolutely. But if you're not, if you're struggling paycheck to paycheck, or almost paycheck to paycheck, you have a little bit of wiggle room. You don't realize it maybe, but you do. If you don't buy that coffee, if you don't buy, whatever it is, that's just gone in a puff of smoke, or whatever it is, then the extra drinks at the bar, or going to the bar period, or buying the cases of beer, or buying the wines, or buying the XYZ. If you are able to stop, and for a number of time, or stop permanently maybe, and put this into assets, you're going to preserve your wealth, and you're going to be better off. You're going to be in a better situation. You're not going to be in a situation where you're feeling like, well, I need to look to someone or something to help me. When you have opportunity right now, you can put yourself there, and you might be in a situation years down the road where you're the one that people are looking for help, because you've done that for yourself. So I just want to say that, because there's still that opportunity. It's not on clearance like it was years ago. It's not even on a high of blue light sale. daylight savings sale or whatever Kmart used to have. It's not that much of a sale as it was back then, a year ago. But it's still on sale. Both gold and silver. I think silver is easier, absolutely, because it's cheaper, that kind of stuff. So it's a better way to get into it if you're not into it. But I would definitely look into those. Absolutely. What do you mean? What do you gotta lose? What do you have to lose? Nothing. Because if you don't want it later on, or you can't use it later on, that's sort of an oxymoron there. But if you don't have a use for it later on, but you always will, because if you want to liquidate it, you can, to get whatever currency you want to purchase whatever you feel you need or want. That's there. That's an option. So I just want to say, just the struggle is going to get harder and tougher, and you want to make it easier for yourself and your family and those around you. This isn't the answer for it all, but this may be an answer to some of it. But anyways, that's all I had to say on this one quick video. As always, thanks for watching. Like, share, subscribe, kind of stuff, and stay vigilant. Protect yourself, protect your family, protect your wealth, and protect your health.